The Brony Adventures 4, Chapter 46, A Bond Broken. A few hours later, in Thunderstorm's and Rainbow Dash's room, Rain bursts in crying. She hugs Thunderstorm, burying her face into his chest. Thunderstorm says, "What's wrong, Angel?" Rain says, Draconix, he's mad at me." Thunderstorm's eyes glow blood red and his armor appears. The ground starts shaking and cracking. The storm roars. Thunderstorm says, "What? Why?" Rain says, "Because I knocked one of his precious crystals out the window. It didn't break, and I said I was sorry. His face was red, and he screamed for hours. And he's mad at me." She starts crying again. Thunderstorm gets out of the hug and walks to the doorway. He looks at her and says, "Stay here. Your mother will be back soon. Tell her everything." He walks out of the room and into the hallway. He finds a window and lifts his wings. Dr. Who says, "Stop, Thunderstorm. Do not confront him right now. You are dangerously close to going." Thunderstorm says, "Rager, I know, Doc. I can feel it coursing through me. My senses enhancing, my anger growing. It feels amazing. See it, Doc." Derby says, "Muppets." Dr. Who says, "Derby, please, don't jump up and down in your condition." Derby says, "Oh, sorry." Dr. Who sighs. Derby says, "I'm fat." Dr. Who says, "You're not fat. You're pregnant." He grabs her hoof and says, with our baby." He kisses her hoof. Derby blushes. At Draconix's castle, Thunderstorm flies in through the window and lands. He screams, "Draconix!" Draconix walks out of a hallway and says, "I knew you'd be coming. Look, I'm sorry. I just lost it. Those crystals are very important and..." Shh! Draconix's mouth drops open. Thunderstorm's armor pointing out of his chest, dripping blood. Thunderstorm's horn starts glowing. Shh! Draconix screams, "Ah! Not again." Thunderstorm says, "This will be the last time." Draconix's entire body starts to glow. Magic swirls around him. Draconix says, "What are you doing?" Draconix rises into the air. Thunderstorm says, "What should have been done a long time ago, bro." The magic spins faster and faster until finally, in one big bright flash, it's over. He falls to the floor. Draconix screams, "Ah!" Draconix lifts his hooves and screams, "Ah! I have hands and legs? What did you do?" Thunderstorm says, "You're human again." A portal opens beside Draconix. Thunderstorm says, "You are banished to Earth. Never come back or I will kill you. On sight." Draconix stands up and says, "Come on, Thunderstorm, don't do this, please. I'm sorry, I really am." Thunderstorm stabs his armor into the floor and says, "Leave before I kill you." Draconix walks into the portal. It closes. Thunderstorm says, "Goodbye, brother." And that's why it says, "Why did you do that?" Thunderstorm pulls his wing out of the floor and says, "He smacked Rain over a crystal. I wasn't going to let him stay here so he could get mad again and hurt her some more." And that's why it says, He was your brother." Thunderstorm says, "You're right. He was." That's why it says, "That's not what I meant. Come back." At Thunderstorm's castle, he flies in through the window and lands. He walks into his and Rainbow Dash's room. Rainbow Dash is hugging Rain. Rainbow Dash says, What did you do to him?" Thunderstorm says, "The only thing I could do to win. Since he can't die, he just comes right back." Rainbow Dash says, "What did you do?" Thunderstorm says, "I turned him back into a human and banished him to Earth. He's gone, and I won't bring him back." Rain says, "Daddy, he's always been kind. He just lost it this one time is all. Please, bring him back." Thunderstorm says, "No. This kingdom doesn't need a king who has a demon inside him or who hits his queen." And Dash says, "Who will help you run Equestria?" Thunderstorm says, "I have a queen too, and she's smart, tough, loyal, kind, and damn sexy." Rainbow Dash blushes and says, "Thunderstorm, stop it." Rain smiles and says, "Ew, Daddy." Thunderstorm says, "Sorry, can't help it when I see your mother." Rainbow Dash blushes, she's blood red. Rain says, "Ew, Daddy, stop." Thunderstorm laughs and says, "Sorry, Angel." Rain says, "What, what am I going to tell Nightlock?" Thunderstorm says, "Easy, that her grandpa banished her father to another world for smacking you." Rain says, "I guess I got nothing else." She leaves the room. Thunderstorm walks up to Rainbow Dash and says, "She's gone." The door closes. Rainbow Dash says, "Thunderstorm, stop it. What if Skulu hears?" Thunderstorm says, "She won't know what's going on." Thunderstorm wing smacks her flank. Rainbow Dash says, "Ah!" She blushes blood red again. Thunderstorm winks at her. Rainbow Dash walks up to him and they start kissing. The lights go out. Firefly looks up to the door and says, "What was that?" He puts his ear up to the door. Rainbow Dash says, "Ah, ah." Firefly pulls his head back, his eyes wide. He backs away and says, "I didn't think they'd be doing that if they're pregnant. I bet Thunder started it." He shakes his head and says, "He just can't keep his hooves off her." Rainbow Dash screams, "Ah, oh my gosh." Firefly says, "Yeah, I'm getting out of here. Wonder where Applejack is." End of chapter 46. Brony Adventures 4, chapter 47. A Star is Born. Excuse me for 1 second. I just got to read something real quick that isn't the story. The 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 next day, Dash opens her eyes and smiles. Thunderstorm smiles back and says, "Hey." Dash says, "Hey." They kiss. Pink Pie says, "Woohoo!" Thunderstorm and Rainbow Dash laugh. Rainbow Dash says, "Pinky, when did you get here?" Pink Pie says, "Oh, a few hours ago." Thunderstorm says, and you just stood there watching us?" Pink Pie says, "Yep." Rainbow Dash says, "Why?" Pink Pie says, "To see you both sleeping, silly. You look so cute sleeping together." Rainbow Dash and Thunderstorm blush. Thunderstorm says, "You have no idea." Pink Pie says, "Huh? Okay. Anyway, who's this godmother?" Thunderstorm says, "Whose?" Pink Pie says, yours and Dashy's baby." Rainbow Dash says, "We haven't thought that over yet, Pinky." Thunderstorm gets up and walks to Pinkie Pie. Thunderstorm says, "Would you like to be his godmother, Pinky?" Pinkie Pie says, "I would love it." Thunderstorm says, "I don't mind if you are." Dashy. Rainbow Dash says, "I don't mind either. Pinky be a great godmother." Pinkie Pie screams, "Yes!" She tackles Thunderstorm and says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." Thunderstorm says, "You're you're welcome, Pinky. Please get off." Pinkie Pie says, "Okay." Thunderstorm stands up and says, "Thank you, godmother." Pinkie Pie hugs Rainbow Dash and says, "Thank you." Rainbow Dash says, "Happy to, Pinky." Thunderstorm says, "Pinky." Pinkie Pie says, "Yeah." Thunderstorm says, "Do you miss Skyrid?" Pinkie Pie looks at the ground and says, "Yeah, of course I do." Thunderstorm says, "Twilight, Rare, Flutter, and AJ have their husbands. It ain't right that you don't." Pinkie Pie says, "I'm okay." Thunderstorm says, "You lost your true love. I don't care what you say. I know you're in pain." Pinkie Pie screams, "Skyrid!" She hugs him. Thunderstorm says, "Skyrid? But I didn't. And you're... What the hell is going on?" Dodo says, "You're not the only pony around here who can do magic. Twilight can too." Thunderstorm says, "You had her bring him back?" Dodo nods. Thunderstorm says, "Okay." Sky says, "She brought back our son too." Sky says, "Pinky, wait!" He runs after her. Dodo leaves the room. Thunderstorm smiles and says, "Good job, Twilight." 9 months later, at the hospital, Thunderstorm walks back and forth between Rainbow Dash's and Rarity's room. Nurse Redheart says, shouldn't you be with one of them?" Thunderstorm stops and says, my, my heart is torn. I love Dashy, but where is Nurse? Nurse Red Heart says, closer to you than any pony could know, and only pony closer to you is the one you love. Thunderstorm says, Nurse Red Heart says, be, be with your wife. I'll look after the other one. Thunderstorm says, actually, Tolly and Rare are closer to me than any pony could know, except the one I love. Nurse Redheart smiles and says, a pony that stays loyal like you do is hard to find. Two other their beautiful mares close to you, and you sit by your wife. Thunderstorm says, I won't lose her, not for anything. Nurse Redheart smiles wider and says, she's lucky. Thunderstorm says, I'm lucky. He walks into the room. The doctor says, push harder! Rash screams, ah! The, 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 the doctor says, got it! Thunderstorm walks up beside Rainbow Dash. The doctor says, it's a boy. He hands the baby to Thunderstorm. Thunderstorm says, Doc? The doctor says, it wanted you. I've done this for a long time, I know. He leaves the room. Thunderstorm looks down at the baby. Its blue eyes look up at him. Rainbow Dash says, he has blue eyes. Thunderstorm smiles and says, like mother. Rainbow Dash says, with your coat. Thunderstorm says, and the purple of that in your mane and black from mine. What do you want to name him? Rainbow Dash says, Star. Thunderstorm smiles and says, perfect, as always. Rainbow Dash smiles and they kiss. Thunderstorm hands Star to Rainbow Dash and says, I need to go check on Rarity. Rainbow Dash says, of course. Thunderstorm walks over to Rarity's room. Rarity says, we had a girl. Thunderstorm smiles and says, she's beautiful. Rarity says, her name is Jewel. Thunderstorm says, I love it. Rarity says, I hope she will too. Thunderstorm says, she will. She has your coat. Rarity says, but your eyes. Thunderstorm says, and you're purple in her mane. Rarity says, but you're black too. Thunderstorm says, she'll love it. I know she will. Rarity smiles and says, thank you for giving me her. Thunderstorm says, same to you. They smile at each other. Thunderstorm says, I need to be with Dashy. Rarity says, of course. Thunderstorm walks back into Rainbow Dash's room. Rainbow Dash says, well? Thunderstorm says, it's a girl. Her name is Jewel. Rainbow Dash says, Jewel. That's cool. Thunderstorm says, yeah. He looks at Star and says, how is my little boy? He rubs his nose against Star's. Star smiles. Rainbow Dash smiles too and says, I love you. Thunderstorm says, I love you too. And chapter 47. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.